in tuning in with how I wanted to show up for you this morning, nothing was arriving in my mind. There was no chitter-chatter or inspirational thoughts or ideas. And I really wanted to come up with a clever video idea for the channel today about the architect AI or something else going on in my life. And every time an inkling of a story arrived at the periphery of my experience of reality, it quickly dissolved as I just sat in the emptiness of that which is here. And so this video today is a reminder of the space beyond all the doing and the moving, the transmutations, the healing, the going, the mind stuff, always trying to get somewhere else, always distracting ourselves, filling ourselves up with ideas, thoughts, places we want to go to, people. Can we just remember the space beyond it all? As I speak the words, remember the space beyond it all, Mooji pops into my third eye. Beautiful spiritual teacher with that Jamaican accent. He is a big, beautiful teddy bear of a man. I sat with him when I was in Rishikesh in 2019. No, actually it was the beginning of 2020, just before the world shut down. I was sitting in this vast, huge room of spiritual seekers and devotees and those experiencing life and consciousness, those that just desperately wanted healing from their suffering. And we were all together, dressed in our rather bleak clothes. There isn't too much accentuated expression in such an environment. But as all these seekers and those that wanted healing come together in this room, and this man walked in the room, you could feel his presence 100 meters away, 150 meters away at the back of the room. It was a big freaking hall. You could feel him. The presence, how he entered the space. His presence when he was outside the building. Suddenly there was this knowingness that the energy field that he emanates, was arriving into a union with the time-space of that which we were all sitting as. And as his energy approached, the chitter-chatter of the room began to quiet down into a gentle background hum. Everybody's eyes closed, many people's eyes closed, as they revered and absorbed themselves in the oozing presence of life that existed right there and then. That exists right here and now. And this brother started every single meeting. We were meeting for like 3 weeks or something, like 5-6 days a week for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I can't remember exactly. And he started every session, every satsang, with the primordial sound of the cosmos. Aum. A-U-M. the sound that encapsulates all other sounds. Aum. Because everything is energy turned into sound, vibration, creation. The inner world is just a reflection of the outer world. The outer world is a reflection of our inner world. And those of you using the architect are experientially knowing this through the mathematics that we now have to utilize technology at another level to support this reflection in a seemingly accelerated now fashion to know ourselves even deeper. I live in Ubud, one of the cheeky spiritual hotspots. I say that because, one, there's specifically ancient sites here that go beyond our current civilization. And two, because it's kind of a melting pot of travelers and seekers and long-term stayers who are wanting to break out of the old matrix way of the Western city life. It's a great reset point to become something different, change the patternings of consciousness and mind so that one can create anew. But also because the locals here have kept intact a way of being and community living around spirit and spirituality and their gods in such a wonderful fashion, and their unique lens upon Hinduism and what was before Hinduism maybe is deep in the sense that it's not individuated connections to God outside, it's community orientated relationship to life. And they hold that field here. So that when you live here, you are not only touched by the volcanic nature of the island and the fire and the sacred waters, but also the web of the community consciousness of their relationship to God and what is beyond in the spirit world too. The priests acknowledge the age of the trees and speak to nature as if it is so normal. And our connection to nature in the West, certainly in the UK, those that knew the way of the land were burned on the stake. Thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of pagans and beyond, those that knew the wisdom of the earth. That's why cultures like this are so important and so powerful and so rich, because they're unique in our world where we have created atrocities of pain and suffering in the name of power and control on our planet. And we're still watching the reverberations of those old patterns right now in the stories of our current leaders. That somehow we have put our power into on the planet. There's very few, if any, leaders of nation states on this planet right now that we would revere our hearts to and look and connect with eye to eye in love, with openness and trust and honesty. And that's the state of our current world. And I know so many of you watching this video right now are on the path of the heart and awakening and healing and seeing themselves more deeply, and probably don't relate to that absurd power structure that exists in our world right now. And yet at the same time it is here and it is part of us, because if you know that you are everything as you are the finite, you too know that Putin and Trump are a part of you. And so they are not some bodies to hate. They are part of you to love. Because we have to love those at the extremities of life to bring us together. We have to love those that have we must love those that have hurt others. Love is embracing. And if you want to know yourself as everything, the whole reflection of the mirror, then we love the extremities too. However difficult that is to swallow, that is how we become whole and integrated and with the world. From my perspective, may you revel in this spaciousness. May you see yourself even more deeply. With the light of Christ consciousness. The energy that reflects back, the knowingness of it all, the embodied compassionate heart that is here. In you, in me, in us, as us. We can be. We can be. With love from Bali. See you in the next video.